Hey, do your hips sometimes feel tight, maybe because you're sitting too much? Mine certainly do. But I have good news for you. There are simple yet effective stretches we can do to release tension in our hips. My name is Christine. I'm a yoga and wellness coach, and I've put together for you a 13 minutes sequence of stretches that will release the tension in your hips. And good news, they're all done lying on your back. So let's get started. Start by lying on your back and placing your feet about hip width apart or slightly wider, and let the knees come together. And your arms, bring them out in a T position, and your palms can either face up or face down, whatever is more comfortable for your shoulders. And let's just stay here for a few breaths to get settled into this short sequence to release tension in our hips. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Open your mouth for an exhale. Another deep breath in through the nose. And sigh it all out through your mouth. Open your knees and place your feet about mat width apart and maybe slightly out on a diagonal, and windshield wiper your shins from left to right. We're starting to bring some movement into our hips. And then release both knees to one side and stay here for a few breaths. Bring your knees back to center, release them to the other side. And bring them back to center. Bring your feet onto the mat about hip width apart and walk them fairly close to your buttocks. Place your arms right alongside your torso with palms facing down. Draw the upper arms towards the mat. Push your heels into the mat. And on the inhale, draw your hips up towards the sky. Draw your chest to the chin. Draw your knees forward. And if you want, you can interlace your hands below you and bring your shoulder blades closer together in this bridge pose. Remember to breathe. If your knees have a tendency to want to sway out to the side, bring them back to hip width. And let go of the interlace and slowly come down one vertebra at a time. Let's do that 2 more times. Place your arms right alongside your torso. Draw your hips up towards the sky. Draw your chest to the chin. Engage your glutes, your butt muscles. And maybe interlace your hands and shimmy your shoulders closer together. Release the interlace and slowly come down one vertebra at a time. Bring your arms alongside your torso again, palms facing down. Push through the heels as you raise your hips up towards the sky. And one final time, feel free to interlace your hands and shimmy your shoulders together. And release the interlace and slowly roll down one vertebra at a time. And hug your knees into your chest. And maybe sway from left to right. Give your low back a nice massage. And release the hands and place your feet down onto the mat about hip width apart. And then lift your right foot and place that ankle on the outside of your left thigh. Gently flex the toes and draw the knee away from you to open up your right hip. This might be enough. If you want a little bit more, interlace your hands behind your left thigh. And on every inhale, draw that left thigh towards your left shoulder. And on the exhale, draw your right knee away from you. This can be an intense hip opening stretch. We're now focusing on opening our right hip. You might feel some sensation there. Send some breath there and see if over time you can release some of the tension that we tend to hold in our hips from all the sitting we're doing. Release the interlace and lower that left foot down onto the mat, but keep your right foot where it is. And bring your arms out to the side in a T position. And come onto the pinky toe side of your left foot. And then lower that entire left leg down to the ground until your right foot touches the ground. See if you can keep your right shoulder down on the ground. And if you want a little bit more, place your left hand on the outside of that knee and draw that knee towards the ground. We're now stretching more of the IT band of your right hip, the outside of your hip. Place your left hand back down onto the ground and come back onto the sole of that left foot back to neutral. And release your right leg and let's set up for the same on the other side. So place your right foot down on the mat. Bend your left knee and place the ankle on the outside of the right thigh. Gently flex the toes and draw the knee away from you. Once again, you have the option of interlacing your hands behind your right thigh and drawing that thigh towards your right shoulder. You'll probably feel a sensation now in your left hip. Does this side feel different than your right side? It might. Most of us are not symmetrical. And so just notice. Send some breath where you're feeling the sensation the most. And release the interlace and lower the right foot down onto the mat, but keep your left ankle where it is. Bring your arms out in a T position and come onto the pinky toe side of your right foot And lower that right knee and thigh to the ground until your left foot reaches the ground. Draw your left shoulder back onto the mat. If you want to deepen this stretch, you can put your right hand on the outside of the knee and draw that knee towards the ground. And release that right hand and come back to a neutral position and release that left leg and hug your knees into your chest and gently sway from left to right one more time. Release your hands down onto the ground and bring your feet onto the mat and place the soles against each other and let your knees fall out to the side. And I invite you to have your arms with palms facing up and maybe close your eyes for this final posture. Notice how your body feels after just a few minutes of hip opening stretches. And take a deep breath in through the nose. A big exhale through your mouth. One more inhale through the nose. And a big exhale through the mouth. Roll over to one side and gently push yourself up. I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this video, be sure to like it and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. See you next time.